Then we'll start the class. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेषाय शून्यवादी आश्रितदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय ओके तो हरे कृष्ण एवरीवन वेलकम to chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita as it is. Start with the Mangalacharan. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सागण रघुनाथन्वितीवं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान श्री चैतन्य नामृतांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वमानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी के नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषज्ञवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय ओम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, we did till 2.6, I guess, right?
Yes, Prabhuji, till 6 we did.
Okay, okay. This we don't. Okay, so yesterday, we past 2 days we were dealing with all the questions that were asked, all the dilemmas or the bewilderment that was asked, but all the doubts that were happening with the Arjuna. And the Krishna has the best quality of the teachers, because teacher is because a person has basically 2 ears and 1 mouth to say, right? So one must listen more. So he was listening, he has listened through whole chapter of whole chapter of first chapter. He throughout listening, just in one shloka he says, just, yeah, behold, this army. He says that, okay, behold this army, Arjuna, just see that, look who is who is here for fighting against. So that's it, right? And in the second chapter, then he starts. So basically, no, he's a very good teacher, because he will, first of all, he listens carefully, then he speak, and answers right away, right? He does not mingle and go around the bush and then give your answers. Rather, he gives answers straight away. Okay, this is your question. He gives all of the answers in the second chapter, right? So now we are into the position that we have identified the what five dilemmas of bewilderment that, or doubts, Arjuna had. So now basically he is becoming a disciple. So in the 2.7, Karpanya doshophata swabhava prachami tvam dharma sammudha cheta yachsheyasya nishchitam ruhi tanme shishyaste hamsadimam tvam prapannam. Hare Krishna, any volunteer or translation?
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Mataji, please go on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Arjuna said, Now I
Now,
am confused about my duty. I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please
please
instruct
instruct.
me. Hare
He's
Krishna.
he's right, Hare Krishna Mataji. Because now he is in the complete bewilderment, right? When you, because if when you go to the spiritual master, when you need a teacher, when you don't know nothing, right? Because you take the admission in the LKG and UKG. Why the parents wanted you to go there? Because they know that you don't know nothing, right? So you go to a teacher to learn something, right? So you go to the spiritual master when you are in the bewilderment, because you have doubts. You don't know things. Why you cannot decide what is right and what is wrong. So at that situation, one basically approaches spiritual master, right? So spiritual master is needed, right? Spiritual master is needed, because we are also in the same state of bewilderment, right? We have lots of doubts and lots of questions in our life, and we need a spiritual master who can guide us, right? So everyone needs a teacher. So if we wanted to become that, one has to surrender to the teacher, right? One has to surrender to the teacher, then one can instruct. Because if you do not surrender and you keep arguing, then what will happen? The teacher won't be speaking. So one must be basically address the problem, right? One must be not into the ego, false ego, that I don't have any problem. Rather, he should accept what is the problem, what is the main problem. Is life a problem? Is birth a problem? Is death a problem? Is disease a problem? Is old age a problem, right? One has to accept the thing, is this a problem? And if one feels that, okay, this is the problem, this is to be addressed, this is the elephant in the room, right? Then he goes to the spiritual master, right? So here he basically surrenders, so why why he surrenders? Here one word is also mentioned, karpanya, right? Karpanya dosha, right? Miserly weakness of the heart, right? Miserly weakness of the right side. He is, or due to miserly weakness of the heart, he is unable to basically, he's unable to decide what is dharma, right? Right. So karpanya dosho pahata swabha prachhami tvam dharma, right? He's saying, out of miserly weakness, I cannot decide what prachhami tvam dharma, what is right, what is religion, what is not, right? So dharma samudra cheda, I cannot decide about my, what is the dharma. So by the nature, by material activities, Kirpanas, major, there are some various sources of perplexities in life, right? Well, for example, forest fire. Does it occur, by someone? No, it occurs automatically. Similarly, the perplexities of life are similar. Basically, perplexities of life are, if you are going somewhere and some accident happens, if you are, going outside and some, fire happens, automatically things are happening, right? Because Prahlad Maharaj also used to say that, always used to say that, you even if you sit there, then also sukha and dukkha, all the yash apyash will come automatically, right? So these are not the things that to be, that you should be worried about, because it will come as per your karma, right? So the perplexities are born to, right? It born to come automatically. It will come right away, because if you do something or do nothing, right? In both ways it will come, right? So perplexities are like those. So problems in the life will come automatically, right? If you are thinking about it, it will not come. Sukha and dukkha both will come automatically, right? So one does not need to, does not need to care about that, right? It will come automatically. So what one needs to be done? There one needs to has bona fide spiritual master, right? You can take your life. Does the problem end at any point of time? No. The perplexities on life will always be there, right? Because even if you come to the Krishna one, what happens? The perplexities are still there, right? But you are conscious about the, things with which you basically one it is happening, why it is happening. Now you will be known that okay, there are three modes of materialization, right? Then surrender, then one was surrender to the bona fide spiritual master, right? Here, who is the bona fide spiritual master? Krishna is himself the bona fide spiritual master, right? He is a Chaitya Guru. He is the original spiritual master, right? So if you go to the, if you go to the, self-realization, then the, one becomes a brahmans, and they also surrender to the spiritual master, right? So karpanas come automatically through material activities, right? So if you go to the self-realization, brahmans, they are new. If you are not interested, then what will happen? Then skin disease and all kinds of diseases there, then overly affectionate to the family, society, country, right? All the things whatever it is there will happen, because you will relate everything with the body, right? So not interested in celebration, what will happen? Perplexities will be there. The birth will come, the death will come, the old age will come, right? The disease will come. Everything will happen automatically, and no self reflection will be there, and one will be very very worried. One will be very very worried, and because not having a bona fide spiritual master, then he will be bewildered, right? So that is not a good state, right? Then he says that, jnana, fight, that fight, there is no death for the soul. Now we will discuss that why you are lamenting for such a thing which is of no use. Because, if you take the examples, take the example of, basically, if a car, right? If you are, basically when you are small, then you have, three wheeler small side tricycle is there, then you have bicycle is there, then you grow, then you have various, bike, then or a scooter, then you have a car, then, like this, life goes on. The vehicle is changing, but are you changing? No, one is not changing, because it gets old or some accident happens to the cycle, bicycle, you change it, right? So it is better to, let go. You will be worried a little bit, right? It was, invested something on it, right? And then it is gone, but you are permanent, right? Similarly, the soul is there. So now in the Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, right? Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Asochayana Navashocastvam Pragnavadamsha Bhasase Gathasun Agatosumscha Nanu Sochanti Panditaha. Hare Krishna, any translation?
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Prabhu, may I?
Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Hare Krishna. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Is its voice is echoing, no, Prabhuji?
No, Mataji, not here, Mataji.
Okay. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead.
Yes, Mataji. So basically, he is saying that why are you mourning for the things which is temporary, right? Which is not worthy for the grief, like the example of the vehicles, right? It is not worthy for the grief, no. It is, because all the relatives which are there, basically they are changing clothes, because Bhima and Dronacharya is there. If they have gotten old, then they will change the clothes, right? So new bodies they will get, the energetic body, all they will go to the heavens, right? So they will get the new body. nothing to be worried about, right? So he's saying the why to be mourn about something which is, which is not, which is not worthy. It is not worthy of the grief, right? So those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Neither for the living nor for the dead. But it does not mean that okay, Prabhuji, you tell that not to worry, then meat eating should be then, right? It's not like that. It's not like that, right? If you are killing, if you are killing someone for your sense gratification, that is banned, that is, abominable by the law of nature itself, right? So what we can say of the law of the Lord, right? So law of the nature itself, because you why the sins, why the sons of the, why the all the 100 sons of the, the Trashtra died, right? And Gandhari died because, some lifetimes ago, many lifetimes ago, 50 lifetimes, I guess, before it was told that the Thrashta killed 100x at a time, right? 100x at a time. He killed 100x at a time. So by that mistake, he got the result of that. So by the nature of the law itself, by the nature of the law itself, one will be, one will be taking the reaction out of it, right? So it's not like that he on this statement you start, you start killing the, innocent, and you start dead. That's just abominable, right? So Lord Krishna is taking the role of a here spiritual master. And now he is chastising Arjuna. Right? He's chastising, right? He's chastising Arjuna, talking like a learned man. You are talking like a learned man, but he is a fool. Why? Spiritually, you are a fool. Yeah? You are talking like a learned man. Okay, these are doubts. These are, these are doubts. Okay, I agree that this is, doubt. This doubt can come. Okay, he is agreeing. But as for a spiritual person, but who is a learned man, who has a learned man, who has the vidya, one who knows the spirituality, right? Who knows spirituality, that he is not the body, he is the soul. That is a spiritual person, right? So he is a learned man, not one who knows what the management skills are, right? What is the use of this hand, what is the use of, right? What he is not a learned man. One who knows that he is a spiritual being is a learned man. One is thinking only about the body, then he is not a learned man, right? So learned man, he differentiates. He basically differentiates between the matter and the spirit. He knows what is body and what is soul. He knows matter and body, right? If he knows matter and the spirit, then he knows who is the controller, right? He is a different. He can differentiate between them. And learned man knows difference between body and the soul, right? The body is temporary, right? It is temporary, and the soul is eternal, right? Do not lament for the body whether it's dead or alive, right? The learned man do not lament for body whether it's dead or alive. A body is born and destined to be vanquished, right? Are you seeing any person, even Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, right? All were killed, right? All were died, all died, right? Therefore the body is temporary. So we are seeing, it's like, it's like a slaughterhouse of a, of a basically a goat, basically, they are all eating the grasses, but they are also seeing that okay, everyone will be slaughtered, but they are still into the sense gratification, right? But one who knows, right, one who knows that that you will be slaughtered, then he will be active, and he will be active spiritually, right? He needs to be active spiritually, right? So one must basically follow some spiritual path, right? So in order to come out of it, right? So learnment differentiate between the what is temporary, that is the body, and what is eternal, which is the soul, right? Asocyan namastavam. न त्वा एवहं जतुनासं न त्वं नेमिज्ञानदीपः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे व्यायम् अतः परम्. Hare Krishna. Are you translator?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Right. So here basically he is telling about the two truths, right? Two truths that he is speaking. One is, one truth is, one neglects, negates the philosophy of, monism philosophy, and one negates the, atheism, right? So he is saying, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be exist. He is saying one is eternal, right? One is eternal, right? Before also, now also, tomorrow also, right? So one is eternal. So atheism saying that there is no God, right? That is not true, right? There was a time when I exist. He says that he himself exists, so God always exists, right? Similarly, Just the Arjuna is also existing. So all living entities are existing. It is, it is not like, going into some Brahman, right? Second philosophy is monism philosophy, that everyone will become a god, right? But he is saying the individuality is retained here. He is saying never was there a time when he is representing himself as I, right? So individuality is there. The individuality of Krishna remains. The individuality of Arjuna remains. The individuality of you remains. And of me remains, right? Everyone's individuality is remained as it is, right. Just the covering of the body is changed, right? So in the future also, no one will be there that cease to exist, right? Everyone will exist, right? The soul will exist eternally. The soul will, the Satchidanand Vigraha will exist eternally. So two philosophy he's saying in the Supreme Personality Godhead, right? So one needs to understand that one is, one is eternal, he is himself saying, and the individuality, that he is the individual soul, he is Paramatma, right? He is the Bhagavan, right? He is the Bhagavan, and he will exist also. 2.13, most important shloka, right? One of the most important shloka. Dehenosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapte dhiras tatra na muhyate. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please continue.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Hare
Right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So now Krishna is saying that, this body is Lord, changing from, one body basically comes into this world, gets born, produces, becomes grows old, right? Produces some effect, right? Dwindles, and then ultimately death, right? So six process basically, it is, it goes from one part to another, right? And this body, it is coming from majorly from boyhood to youth to old age, right? Similarly, the soul will be passed into another body at death, right? Why are you lamenting for such a thing which is not, not worthy of it, right? Why are you thinking about it? So a sober person, if you are a sober person, then you must not be bewildered by such a change, because such a change is, is such a, it's like changing your clothes, right? It's like changing your clothes. Similarly, so why are you, why you are basically lamenting for such a thing which is just to be changed? They will get the new body, right? They will get the new body. So the soul, this body, the body is basically a covering to the soul, right? If soul is there, then this body will convert from boyhood to old age, right? If the soul is not there, it will not convert from boyhood to old age, right? Because if just the matter is there, the consciousness is like that, right? How is the consciousness is spread all over the body, right? The effect of the soul is can be seen by the consciousness. Like if you take the example of the medicine, what happens if you take, if you take a dolo or whatever medicine you take, you take, what happens, it gets, you can feel the energy in the whole body. It does not affect only one part. You send it to the stomach only, right? What happens from the stomach, it is spread over all the body. Similarly, Prabhupada tells us, similarly as the medicine is affected, similarly consciousness can be felt all over the body, right? So this can be realized. This is a practical application, right? Again says, Matra spastashtu kaunteya sitoshana sukha dukkada agamapayonu nityastam stitakshva bharata. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, continue.
O son of Kunti, the non permanent appearance of happiness and distress and their disappearance in due course are like the appearance and disappearance of winter and summer seasons. They arise from the sense perception, O son of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? Here he is saying, here he is saying, oh, son of Kunti, a son of Kunti. Why addressing son of Kunti? Because, you come from a great bloodline, because you come from a great bloodline of the Kunti Parivar, right? So he is addressing with the, oh, son of Kunti, right? He is saying the non-permanent appearance and happiness and distress, right? What are happiness and distress? They are like this, appearance of and disappearance of winter and summer season, right? But because you take example of, a mother is cooking for the child. Even if there is summer, then also she cooks, in the morning, there is a winter, then also she cooks in the morning, in the morning, right? The same time she cooks, right? She does not forget the duty of, of basically sending the, giving the food to the children, right? It is a duty, right? The duty is obeyed, right? Similarly, he is saying, Krishna is here also saying that happiness and distress is like, the is like seasons, which are like winter and summer seasons, right? It will come and go. Now you are happy, you are distressed, next time you will be happy, right? So these are all sense perception, right? These are all sensory perception, but one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Why one must tolerate them? Because one needs to fight, one needs to do the duty. The duty should be carried upon, the duty should be done, in effect, without affecting one's ability to get distressed or happiness, right? Because everything will appear, the perplexities of the life will appear as it is, right? It will not change, right? यम हीन व्यथन्ते एते पुरुषम पुरुषर्षभा सम दुःख सुखम धीरम सोमर्तव्य कल्पते. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा माता. यस माता.
The best among men, the person who is not disturbed by happiness and distress and steady in both is certainly eligible for liberation. Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Now he is saying, Hare Krishna. He is saying basically who will be liberated, who will get liberated. What will happen if you are, you are equipoised in both happiness and distress? You answer in the next slide, because why he is saying to become equipoised? Because you will get liberation, right? Because if you get equipoised, you will get liberation, right? You will be free from the entanglements of the birth, old age, death, and disease, right? These fourfold miseries of the life is affecting you basically, right? Why are you lamenting? For these fourfold miseries only, Arjuna, right? So what you have to do? You have to be equipoised in happiness and distress. By that, what will happen? You will be liberated. You will live with the God. Why? What will happen if you live with the God? Then you will be, free from all these fourfold miseries, and you will be always blissful, right? So what one wants to always to be happy, right? One desires only one thing, always to be happy, right? One wants always to be blissful. One wants always to be happy. So these are the qualities one is basically needed, right? One is asking, right, from the Lord. So how to get that? Being equipoised in happiness distress, because the perplexity will come and it will go. It will it's like the seasons in the winter and summer, right? Then you will get liberated. So he's, this is the practicality of this book. What it is stating, what Krishna is instructing here: be equipoised in happiness and distress. So this is the instruction, right? This is the instructional book, right? The Bhagavad Gita is basically instructional. You cannot read all the Vedas. What you do, you read the Bhagavad Gita. You follow what Krishna is saying. You be equipoised in happiness distress. What will happen? You will be liberated. He is only saying, right? नाशतो विद्यते भावो न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दष्टो न अन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्णा माता. यस माता जी.
Those who are seers of the truth have concluded that of the non-existence, the material body, there is no endurance, and of the eternal, the soul, there is no change. This they have concluded by the studying the nature of both. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here Krishna is saying that, it's just not, I'm just saying, this, the sages have concluded this, practically have been seen by the sages. What happened here? What they have seen? They have concluded that the material body, there is no endurance, it is temporary, basically, it is temporary, and of the eternal, there is no change. The soul never change. The Satchidanand basically never change. The energy of the Satchidanand, quality never changes. Rather, a material body, there is no endurance. It is not permanent, basically, right? It is not permanent. It will change, from one body to, from from boyhood, from boyhood to youth to old age. It will keep on changing, right? First you get, different body, male body, then you get the female body, right? Different bodies you will get, right? There are 84 lakhs of species, right? And then you can get any one of the species, right? They're from the, and the human species are only 4 lakh. Out of the 84 lakhs, 4 lakh, if you calculate the percentage, just if you pick, some species, if there is, some lucky draw, if you take out, and then chance of getting that it's only 4 5%, right? 4 5% it comes. So it is very rare, even if there is a lucky draw, right? But it is as per the laws of nature. Whatever consciousness you develop, then you get the human body. So it is very rare. So right, it is very rare. One needs to basically, develop consciousness to get liberated out of it, right? So he's saying that already, all the sages have done the conclusion. They have concluded studying by the nature, right? He's a teacher, right? So he is giving the examples, right? He is giving the examples. Not only be the sages who have come in the human body, they have already tested all these things. If someone is tested, you believe the shastras, believe the sages also, right? So they have concluded by studying the nature of both, right? They have studied how the consciousness work. The soul can be represented through consciousness also, because you feel the consciousness, right? And the body you can see, right, with your senses, right? So they have studied both the things and they have learned out of it. अविनाशी तु तद्विधि येन सर्वम् इदं ततं विनाशम् अव्यवश्यस्य न कश्चित् कर्तुम् अर्हति. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Mataji.
That which pervades the entire body you should know to be indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now the nature of the nature of the soul is being described here. And from here, the nature of the soul that starts the description of the nature. That he says the how the soul can be seen, that which pervades the entire body. That which pervades the entire body. You should know to be indestructible, right? The feeling you are getting that you are inside this body, that is basically that is indestructible, right? The feeling you are getting that okay, I am this body, that consciousness you are feeling basically, right? So you that whatever it is being thinking, that is basically indestructible. The soul is indestructible. No one is able to destroy that imperishable soul, right? No one can destroy that soul. That this is the characteristic, or this is the nature of the soul, right? So from here the nature of the soul starts. हन्तवन्तय मे देहा नित्यशोक्तः शरीरिणः अनाशीनो परमेश्वरस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Mataji.
The material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. Therefore, fight. Hare
Here,
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Here again, Krishna is saying this material body, what will happen? It will dwindle and it will come to death, right? So basically, you are, this is, this material body of the indestructible, immeasurable, eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. The characteristic of soul is indestructible, immeasurable, and eternal living entity. Why immeasurable? Because it is 1/10,000 part of the tip of the hair, right? So it is mentioned in the Sveteshvara Upanishad and various other scriptures, right? The how big a soul is, right? The what is the dimension of the soul, right? So that is mentioned, right? So it is immeasurable. It is indestructible. How you can kill such a small, immeasurable soul, right? Immeasurable soul. How can destroy it? And then the eternal living entity, right? So it is, and it will come to, the body will come to end. Therefore, fight. So don't lament for this, right? The which is indestructible, it cannot be destroyed. Then even if you destroy the body, you will be fighting with the body, not with the soul, because soul is eternal. Wrong, soul is indestructible, right? It is immeasurable, right? Even if you try to, destroy it, it is immeasurable. One which is immeasurable, how you can destroy it, how you will able be to destroy it, right? याइनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभौ तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Mata.
Yeah. Neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge. For the self slays not, nor is slain.
Hare
For the
Krishna.
self slays not.
Yeah. So here, Hare Krishna. So here he is saying, neither he who thinks the living entity the slayer, nor he who thinks it slain is in knowledge, right? What is knowledge, right? One who thinks that one can slain the soul is not in knowledge. Basically saying that when he considers that he can slain the soul, that he has no knowledge. He has only avidya, right? If one thinks I will kill someone and he will be killed, he is wrong there, No, he will not be killed. He will not be killed, Bhaiya. The karmic reaction rather will come to you. He will not be killed. Rather, in the next, the reaction, you will be killed. So basically, one is not killing anyone, right? Because whatever you are killing, the reaction is coming to you only, right? So no one is killing no one, right? If someone kills, reaction is there. So if one knows that you are killing the body, not the soul, then he is in knowledge, right? So you are basically here to kill the body, not the soul, right? So that is the knowledge, right? That is the knowledge, right? Because for the self slays not nor is slain, right? Because the say self is what? It is not slain, right? It is not slayed basically.
Prabhuji, one minute.
Mm.
Can we be
Hare
on
Krishna.
the previous shloka, Prabhuji?
Yes, Matari, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
what you said there'll be karma for the person who is killing, but what about the person who will have to leave his body because of killing?
Matari, that is the reaction, na Matari. For example, a person is a Kshatriya, right? Here is a Kshatriya. For example, there is a Pakistani soldier, Mataji. He kills a Indian soldier, right? He kills basically Indian soldiers, okay? So Indian soldier is killed. So he will go to the heaven because he died fighting in the battle. And one who is killed, he will not have karmic reaction, but he is doing the duty, right? So here is saying not he has not reached the concept of Kshatriya before that only. He is just trying to justify that that what you are slaying is just the body. He is just not even reached to the point of the duty of the Arjuna. He is just at the point where he is just trying to say that you are just killing some matter, you are not killing the soul. The soul is in the, so here the nature of the soul is being, no is being, is being taught. Why? Because he want to know that what is jnana. What is jnana here? This part of the section, this 12.11.20 is basically the jnana. What is the jnana? You are not the body or the soul. So if you want to know the soul, you need to know the nature of the soul, right? And the jnana is, what is the jnana is that you know the nature of the soul. You're not the body or the soul, and what are the characteristics of the soul. So here, what is knowledge? He is saying. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Right, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. 2.20, right? Here more characteristics of the soul is न जयते म्रियते व कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वन भूय अजो नित्यो शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Hare Krishna. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
For the soul, there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come unto being, does not come unto being, and will not come unto being. He is unborn, eternal, never existing, and renewable. renewable. He is not slain when the body is slain. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he is saying, now Krishna is saying, na jayate mriyate, right? For the soul, there is neither birth nor death. Vakadachi. Never, never, right? Nayam bhutva bhavita vana bhuya. Bhutva means he has not come into being. Earlier also he is not, in the past. Bhavita does not come into being. Right now, it is not coming. It is not like now you have created. It's not like some cryptocurrency that you have created right now. Right? It's not like that. It was present before also. So Bhutva Bhavita Vana Bhuya does not come into being. Right? Does not come into being and will not come into being. In the future also, it will not come into being. He is Anmor Ajo. Ajo means unborn. Ajanma. Ajanma means Ajo Ajanma, unborn. Nitya. Nitya means eternal. Shashvato, ever existing. Yam Purano, right? It is Puran, right? It is and is primeval. It is very old, right? It is primeval. Nahanyate hanyamane sharire. He is not slain. Nahanyate. He is not slain when the body is slain, right? So no, basically he is saying for the soul there is there is neither birth nor death at any time. Secondly, it is does not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being, right? It is unborn, eternal, ever existing, primeval, right? He is not slain when the body. So these four, the four kinds of things, nature we learn to know that with the 2.28 shloka, right? This is the these are the characteristics of the soul, right? This is the characteristics of the soul. वेदविनाशिनं नित्यं येनैनम् अजम् अव्ययं कथं स पुरुषः पार्था कं घातयति कहन्ति Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
How can a How can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable kill anyone and cause anyone to kill? Prabhuji, what is immutable?
Immutable means Matari, basically, you know, uh, which cannot be, mute means
Replicated, maybe.
in the sound perception, Matari, in the sound perception, right? If some, it cannot be, destructed by the, mute means, something that can be reduced, the voice, the vibrations that can be reduced. So immutable is like that, Matari. It cannot be, immute. Ye
Yes.
ena bhajam avyayam katham sa purusha partha kam gatayati hanti kam, right? Immutable, one cannot destruct it with the hammer, right? But one cannot destruct it with the, eternal, and it is unborn, it is not created, right? One cannot even destruct with the sound, right? One cannot destruct with the sound. So one can, these are characteristics of the soul. It is being saying that whatever you do, it cannot be destructed. The soul will never die, right? The Krishna himself is saying that soul will never die, right? So he is basically in this, he is basically in this, basically saying in the knowledge, basically what we are getting, that how can you cause, or anyone, cannot even cause anyone to kill, right? You cannot even cause anyone to kill, because why? Because sarva karana karanam is Krishna, right? Whatever is happening, the cause of all causes is Krishna, right? The cause of the, or whatever the perplexities you are getting, you should not be worried about that. You should not be worried, because he is the cause of all causes, right? You should not be worried about that. कृष्ण वाशांसि जिन्नानि यथा व्ययाय नवानि गृणाति नरोपाराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण यस मैम
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, this soul similarly accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण सो we learned in the way देहिनोस्मिन् यथा दे तथा देहांतर प्राप्त धीरस्तेन we also from boyhood to old age, one is changing. So similarly, you are changing the clothes. So one is giving up the old clothes, because he is worried about the Dronacharya and Bhishma, right? Bhishma, he is worried. They are, they are old, and I am killing them. So here Krishna clarifies, okay, not to worry. One is basically changing the clothes of an old person. It's similarly a changing of the body, right? One is worried, one is little bit worried when basically changes his vehicle, but it is temporary, right? But you are not changed. So they will get the new body. For them, he is, Krishna is basically, chastising Arjuna, and explaining him that you don't worry about them, right? Because they are just changing the garments, right? Giving up the old ones, the soul simply accepts the new material bodies, giving up the old and the useless ones, right? Because at the age of, at the age of 60, 70, what happens, our body gets, cannot, remember something, we cannot have the understanding, we cannot do many things, right? All the energy has gone. So if one gets a new body, what will you say? You will get, okay, good, right? Like you change the old vehicle and you get the new vehicle, what is there? Is there distress or happiness? Definitely there is happiness, right? If you leave your old house and you get the new one, what happens? You will be energetic, right? So if you get a new body, what happens? It is a situation of happiness rather than distress, right? So here he is saying that one will give up the old ones, the source and accepts the new material bodies, right? नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्ति अपो न शोचयति मारुतः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण अनन्या मातरि यस मातरि
The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, non burned by the fire, non moist, moistened by water, nor weathered by the wind. Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, right? The soul can never be cut into pieces by any weapon, right? If you are trying, if you kill by your arrow, you will kill by, the body, the body by your all your weapons. They will not be, they will not be cut, right? If you cut the, you take the example, what happens, the Ganesh, Ganesh ji, the demigod Ganesh ji is there. What happens? The head of the Ganesh ji is basically taken out by the Shiva, right? Then what happens? He put the new head. What happens? The soul is died? No, everything he remembers, everything he remembers. The soul is there because the consciousness is still there. So Ganesh ji is there only, right? Similarly happens to the Daksha also. In the yagya, basically his head is cut, then the head of the goat is basically put on the Daksha, and the yagna continues. And Shivji is there. So what happens? The consciousness is still there, right? So consciousness is still there. So it cannot be cut into pieces. You cut the, and still the consciousness is there, right? Nor moistened by water, right? If you try to, make it soluble in something, no, it won't be done. If you try to burn it, you burn, there's the, antim sanskara is done, the burning is there. Does it burn the soul? No, it does not burn, right? It just burns the body, right? It cannot be withered by the wind, right? If you try to blow it, and it will reach somewhere. No, it's not like that. So it will not be withered by the wind. 2.2 for this. अच्छेद्यो यम अधाहि अयो यम अक्लेद्यो शोष्य एव च नित्य सर्वगता स्थानो अचलो यम सनातनः. हरे कृष्ण. साधना माता जी, हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. The individual soul is unbreakable, insoluble, and can be neither burnt nor dried. He is everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, and eternally the same. Prabhuji, what is immovable?
Immovable means it cannot be moved, Mataji. It cannot be moved, it cannot be moved, like for example, you can pick a car and you can move it. Yeah? You can pick a phone, you can move it, right? It will not come into your hand. It's not like it. You can move a soul, right? The body is slain, then the soul will move according to the course of action of the law of the nature only, right? As per the will of the Lord, right? It's not one can move the soul, right? If that was had to be happen, then you can collect the soul at one place. So it's not immovable, right, Mother? So here the characteristics are unbreakable, right? It cannot be broken, right? It can cut into pieces. It cannot even break also, right? The difference is there. You can, if you want to cut something and want to, throw something at the ground and then break it, right? That can also be not. It is insoluble, neither burned nor dried, right? It cannot be burned, not dried in the, heavy sun is there. Then you try to burn it, right? These are all the characteristics of the soul, right? He's explaining in details to the Arjuna, right? If you are, because there are very various weapons, right? Nuclear weapons kind of things are there in the war. These characteristics are to be explained to the Arjuna, right? Because various weapons will be there. Bhishma is like, always firing the weaponry system out of water. Arjuna is firing the weaponry system out of the Agni Dev. Dronacharya is doing the same. So then various doubts are there, right? That one can dry things up, one can burn things up, right? So these are the things. What if someone I do this, then this will be done. So these characteristics are very important to explain to the Arjuna, right? So he's explaining in detail the soul's characteristics. So say it is everlasting, present everywhere, right? It is present everywhere in every atom. It is present, right? Anu Atma in the form of atomic soul, it is present, right? But if one thinks that atomic soul, can pervade in the Vibhu Atma, the Paramatma, then he is a fool, right? He is just a fool, right? Because how can one think that one is a Vishnu Tattva? One is a Vishnu Tattva, then why he will go to the hospital to be admitted in the ICU? And why he will say that I am the God and still be admitted in the ICU? That is not the case, right? So one Anu Atma is Anu Atma, Vibhu Atma is Vibhu Atma. Vishnu Tattva is different, living entities Tattva is different. We are all part and parcels of the God, not the God, right? So if one saying he is the God, then he is, the individuality is, the individuality mixing with the God is the, all bogus kind of mentality, right? That is not even logical. It is unchangeable. It will not change. You will say, okay, this has the power of 20 kilojoules. Now it has the power of 40 kilojoules. Now it has the power of 10 kilojoules. No, the quality remains same. We are just, the fire, the spark of the fire, it comes out of the fire. Thus, every spark fire is the same, right? So Srila Prabhupada gives in the purports also that if you if some if the sky is representing in the water, then if the stars are basically the living entity, but the sun and the moon is the god, right? He says that I am the I am the light of the sun and the moon. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked that show me the god, right? And devotee asked, show me god. And he asked him to see the sun, right? You see the sun, well you are seeing the light. This light, whatever you are seeing, the sun in the sun of the light of the sun is described by the Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita as he is the light of the sun and the moon. So he is see the god, you see the god, you. So he said that where are the hands and all, but because out of if you are in a if you are basically in a dark room, what happens? There is a cat. You see the eyes of the cat, but you can't see, black cat is there, you can't see his his hairs and his hand, his legs and his whole body you can't, but the eyes is there. Similarly, the light of the sun is is the Krishna himself only, but we cannot see everything. Why? Because we are into the we have the senses which cannot be seen. Vishwarupa even we cannot see. If the Lord we don't get the mercy of the Lord to see the Vishwarupa, right? So he said that why I cannot see, why he has given the example, but he said why we cannot see Srila Prabhupada that because we are not qualified. So one needs to be qualified, right? One needs to, if you want to meet the PMO, if you want to meet the PM, what you have to do, you need to be qualified, right? If you want to be, if you want to meet some various persons regularly, what you need to do, you need to be qualified. Similarly, if you want to see the Lord, one needs to be qualified, right? One needs to be qualified. So we are into the into the spiritual path to become a qualified person, to know God and to meet God, right? So this is this is our this is our process, or this is our goal to do that. This is our process. So thus here the soul is immovable and eternally the same. It always remains same, right? It is unchangeable. It always remains same. अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अविकार्योऽयम् उच्यते तस्मादेव विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुम् अर्हसि. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mata.
It is said that the soul is invisible, inconceivable, and immutable. Knowing this, you should not crave for the body.
Right. So
Hare
here major,
Krishna.
major Hare Krishna. Here major nature is given. It is invisible, right? One will say that it cannot see the soul, right? Because you himself, which is present in the body, can you see the soul? No, you can just realize it. You can just realize it through the consciousness. It is inconceivable, right? It is inconceivable. How you cannot think out of it, because why? It is it is so small that it is inconceivable, right? How it is how it is going from one body to another, it is inconceivable, right? You cannot you cannot think that how it is transforming from one body to another, right? It is immutable, right? It is immutable, right? You cannot you cannot blow and basically do and it cannot be moved, right? Like that, right? So knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. One should not grieve for the body, right? Because the soul, the soul has these characteristics, and by this knowledge, by this jnana, you should not grieve for the body, right? So what are the what are the more characteristics we see here? It is unbreakable, insoluble, neither burned nor dried, everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable, eternally same, invisible, inconceivable, immutable, right? अतः चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसेव तं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, please, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माता.
If,
Yes, माता.
if, however, you think that the soul or the symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, you still have no reason to lament, O mighty arm. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now, even you are for atheist, right? Even if you are atheist and you think that the soul or symptoms of life will always be born and die forever, yeah? Because if you think that it is also temporary, right? If it is also it is also the soul is also temporary, right? It will also not will always be born and always and die forever, right? That the soul is like all the symptoms of the life. Whatever you think that these are the symptoms of life, you can see and all, will always be born. He's saying he will always be born, right? Always be born and die forever. You still have no reason to live, right? He's still at the same stage. You still don't have to, and you don't have to, all made up of some chemicals also. Then also, why you are lamenting? It's all chemicals. Why are you lamenting for such a chemicals, right? The scientists, that scientists assume, various scientists assume that this is all chemicals. Then what is the use? Why you are crying for some chemicals kind of things, right? Because if you think like that, right, if you come to this knowledge also, by that knowledge also, why are you caring for some chemicals only, right? चातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्मादपरिहर्येऽर्थे न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Sadhna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. One
Yes,
who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death, one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the discharge of your duty, you should not lament. Hare Krishna.
correct. If you think that you are not the chemical, but you think that one has come to the rejuvenation, rejuvenation or reincarnation will be there, then if someone is dead, yeah, sure to, one who has taken his birth is sure to die, right? If you don't kill, then also they will die someday or the other, right? It's better to, follow my order, follow, Krishna's order. He's saying that if you follow my order and be a service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then at least it will be good for you, right? So it is, has taken his birth is sure to die. And after death, one is sure to take the birth again, right? Not even not here, then in the spiritual world you will come, right? You will go somewhere. What will the energy, what will the consciousness will do? It needs to have some body, right? It needs to have some body, right? If you get the spiritual body, then you serve the Lord. If you get the material body, then you come to the 14 lokas, right? So anywhere you have to have some body, right? The body will be there as per your consciousness. You develop spiritual consciousness, you go to the spiritual world. You develop material consciousness, you come to the material world, right? So one is sure to have birth and death, it is eternally, the cycle goes and goes on, right? But if you go to the kingdom, you get the spiritual world, and that is permanent. So therefore, in discharge of your duty, you should not lament, right? Because you are just following the duties of the kshatriya, right? You need to do the duty of the kshatriya. You are just following your duty. You have a swabhav gunai, you have a swabhav of a kshatriya, right? So as per your gun, you need to follow your duty. You are just doing your duty, right? अव्यक्तादीनि भूतानि व्यक्ता मध्यानि भारत व्यक्ता निध्यानि एव तत्र का परिदेवना. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Mata.
All created beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifest again when an annihilated. So, what need is there for lamentation?
Hare Krishna. So one is basically unmanifested, right? First is basically come into because if there is no body, then the soul wanders and come accepts the body. So one is unmanifested, then manifest in their interim state, right? One basically is a very small child, then comes to the manifesting stage. That one becomes a youth, then goes to the old age. And similarly, at every, the Brahma, what does the Brahma do in every day? He creates the world, and every day, at the, before sleeping, before going to the rest, he basically destroys everything, right? So one is unmanifested, one comes to the manifestation state when, the world is created, Brahma. Then what happens? Then basically the living entities come, they get the life as per their consciousness, then again, the whole world is destroyed, then again they are unmanifested. Then as per their desire, again this cycle start, right? So what is the lamentation? What is the lamentation? This cycle is going on here again and again. Krishna is saying that you are into the fixed cycle, you are into the fixed cycle, you are, basically you are thinking about the things which is eternal. If something is eternal, why you are lamenting? This cycle will go on, right? So philosophers, there are two types of philosopher. One is a theist, and one who believes in existence of the soul, right? One who are atheists, they do not believe in the soul, basically, right? So material existence, they say before creation, unmanifested stage, right? Before material existence also, one manifestation, creation is there, manifestation state is there, and then annihilation, manifestation again and again, it all goes on, right? So as per the principle of of science also, right? Science also, they say that there was some, then they say there's some, there was big bang, right? There was some big bang, right? What happened, there was some space. Out of space some air is created, right? Some air was, some air involved, right? In the space some air got created, right? And this air, some fire, some fire created, some fire was created in the fire. Then as per the fire, because due to the chemicals present in the air and the fire, some water was created. After the some water, then some earth was created, right? Out of the some earth, then very varieties of creations, right? This is manifested. So this is material existence. This is the philosophy of basically, this is the philosophy of basically, the atheist philosophy, or the the Big Bang theory. Similarly, if you see in the shastras also, it is similar, right? What we are made up of, we are made up of ether, air, fire, water, and earth, right? So it is also manifested in the similar state only, right? So it is also manifested in similar stages, right? So many varieties, but the bodies are fixed. 84 lakh species are there, out of which 4 lakh species are human, right? So Lord Krishna's argument is, what is there to lament, right? So he is saying that even if you think like that also, as per the Big Bang theory, then also some manifestation is there, then annihilation, earth will destroy this five elements are only there, right? So this will all will be destroyed, then again the Big Bang will be happen, then always this will go on, right? So what is there to lament for? So we can see the how the soul is amazing, right? In 2.29, he explains, Krishna explains that how the soul is amazing, right? Look, he says, see, some look on the, some he says that how the someone looks on the soul. Some look it at as soul is amazing, right? Some says that it is amazing. Some people who are amazing look on the soul, right? Some look on the soul which is amazing, right? Some look on the people who are amazing, look, right? Some look on the soul which is amazing, right? So anyway, so looking amazing, sometimes looking is amazing, sometimes people are amazing, sometimes soul is amazing, right? So different varieties of amazingness, amazing things are with the soul, attached to the soul. Here some hear about it, somehow how some hear about it, some intelligent person hear about it, some hear about the amazing soul. Some people who are amazing hear about the soul, and some hear about the soul which is amazing, right? So in any case, your hearing is amazing, right? Some the people are amazing and soul is amazing, right? Some describe it somehow, describing is amazing, by some describe the soul as amazing, right? Some people who are amazing describe on the soul, right? Here people are amazing basically, who are describing on the soul, and soul is amazing. How some people describe the soul which is amazing. The soul same size, amazing, right? Different, some different, sometimes, hearing about the soul is amazing, right? It's like the bacteria, it is present in the bacteria. You drink water, lots of, you are killing lots of basically the souls, killing basically lots of the bacteria, but the soul is still there, right? Then the elephant, elephant, some people, people are amazing, right? People are hearing about the soul, the people are amazing. Some people are basically discussing about the soul, it is amazing. So variously, he is saying how look, see, describe, and hear how soul is amazing is described in 2.29. देहि नित्यम अवध्योयम देहे सर्वस्य भारत तस्मा सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण. Yes, Mataji.
O descendants of Bharata, he who dwells in the body can never be slain. Therefore, you need not to grieve for any living being. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? O descendant of Bharata. Why he is saying? For he first he say, O son of Kunti. Now he is also addressing him, O descendant of Bharata, right? You come from a very, great forefathers family, right? From a very, legendary peoples, right? Legendary persons, Bharata, right? Bharatvarsha. He who dwells in the body can never be slain, right? He who dwells in the body, therefore need not grieve for any living being. Do not be grieved for any living being, right? So here the jnana from 2.11 to 30, what we learned, that we need to know about the soul, why, how, what are the characteristics, what are the nature, so that if you want, if you want to try to do some things, ill to the soul, you cannot do it, right? Because so are the characteristics and so are the nature of the soul, which it bounds it to not be killed or not be destroyed, right? The soul will always, your consciousness He'll always be there with your, you will carry your mind, intelligence, and false ego, and and you go. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow, because here also, but out of this knowledge, I explained earlier also that out of this knowledge, unnecessary violence should not be done, right? It's not justified because the laws of nature are still there, right? The laws of nature will judge you, and above that, Krishna will judge, right? Krishna will judge. Because out of this, you just because one is not the body, one is so someone try, start killing, and so that is not good. Yes,
Prabhuji,
yes, mother.
but
Hare
yeah, but the soul is spiritual, and the parameters that we are taking to judge it is all material parameters. So how
Krishna.
it can be like
Hare Krishna Mantra. Yes, Mataji. The judge avoiding capital punishment is basically, the capital punishment. Here, the analogy is given, Mataji, that in this world, in this material world, one is performing surgery, operation, he is also using some knife, right? And there is a murderer whose intention is to kill someone, right? But a surgeon is having a knife to cure a person, right? So, judge with what the judge will do? Does he punish the surgeon or the murderer? You think?
obviously Prabhuji,
The
the
murderer,
surgeon will
right?
not be. Yes,
Right, Mataji. So the right actions, right? The right actions needs to be here. Here, why the surgeon is taken? Because he is under the direction of his medical studies as he is doing as per the Shastras or as per the knowledge of his, ultimate guru. Here, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself is here, right? He is saying to the doctor, do this basically, right? The someone is in the college and doing a surgery and the teacher comes, okay, do like this, he will obey, right? Similarly, who will judge then? The judge will say that you have done right. So laws of the nature will not affect Arjuna, right? So this is the analogy which basically Prabhupada gives in this, in this shloka after getting this gyan. Hare
right,
Krishna.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we will start from tomorrow then, 2.31. Hare Krishna. Any more questions?